They said he meant everything to them. But when the moment came, they were the first to stab him in the back. This isn't just a story, it's a brutal truth. A truth that will shock you and make you rethink everything. Are you ready to find out who really played the game? Everything looked perfect in front of the cameras. The smiles, the fame, the glamour. But behind the scenes, lies, betrayal, and a decision that turned everything upside down. This isn't just gossip, it's the hidden truth they never wanted you to see. My name is Hill Harper. I am an actor, an author, and someone deeply passionate about education and social justice. Now let's talk about what really caught everyone's attention, Melody's pregnancy. When the news started making rounds, Martell Holt was completely caught off guard. He could not hide his emotions. And get ready, because this is where it all gets messy. Word on the street was that Melody might be having a baby. To say Martell did not take it well would be a serious understatement. His reaction was loud even though he never said much directly. It was the kind of response that did not need an explanation. You could feel it in the way his energy shifted online. The cryptic posts, the emotional tone, and the quick deletions. All told, the same story. Martell had been shaken, and badly. He was not prepared for what was coming, and it showed. It hit him hard, and fans picked up on it almost immediately. Let us take a step back and see how everything led to this moment. Not long ago, it actually seemed like Martell and Melody were finally finding some peace. After everything they had been through, messy arguments, cheating, divorce, custody fights, the air between them had started to clear. There was no more shouting, no public jabs. It felt quiet, surprisingly calm. People noticed. Martell was not just keeping things cool, he was actively showing a different side. In one moment that stood out, he gave Melody flowers. It may have seemed like a small act to some, but knowing their history, it meant something. That gesture spoke louder than any apology. It was a rare moment of softness from someone known for being stubborn and reactive. In interviews, Martell even started speaking highly of Melody. He called her a good mother. He showed her respect publicly, something he had not done consistently in the past. For fans who had watched their highs and lows unfold on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, this new version of Martell was unexpected. It made people stop and wonder, was he changing? Was he trying to make things right? But along with that surprise came confusion. The shift felt sudden, too smooth. People were unsure whether to believe it was real or just temporary. After all, this was not the first time Martell had shown signs of wanting peace, only to turn around and let his emotions take control. So when the rumors about Melody began swirling again, he clearly was not ready for it. Felt like the old patterns were coming back. And this time, the difference was clear. Melody stayed calm, while Martell seemed to unravel. What really added to the surprise was what Martell said in recent interviews. He openly complimented Melody, calling her a great mother and speaking about her in a positive tone. That was rare. People who had grown used to seeing their arguments and jabs on reality TV were not used to this softer, more respectful version of Martell. For once, he was not trying to outshine her or throw dirt on her name. It almost felt like he had turned over a new leaf. And that is when people started raising their eyebrows. What is really going on here? Why the sudden change in attitude? The public, especially longtime fans of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, knew better than to believe the peace would last. That silence between them felt strange and natural, even it was the kind of quiet that comes right before something explodes. Something felt off, like the eye of the storm had just passed, and the wind was about to pick up again. When you look back at their history, it is easy to understand why people were cautious. Martell and Melody's relationship had been through it all: cheating scandals, messy divorce proceedings, public fights, and deeply emotional custody battles over their children. Their lives played out on screen, and viewers saw every high and every low. So when things started to calm down, it did not feel like healing. It felt like a pause on unsettling stillness before the next wave of drama. What made it even more interesting was how Martell seemed to be trying to change the narrative. By showing kindness, giving flowers, and making respectful comments, it looked like he was trying to rewrite the story. Maybe he was hoping to fix what had been broken. Maybe he wanted to regain public favor. Or maybe, just maybe, he genuinely missed the family they once had and was looking for a way back, and no one could say for sure. But at the same time, Melody did not mirror that energy. She accepted the flowers, remained cordial, but never gave off the impression that she was opening that door again. She stayed quiet, kept her moves subtle, and continued building her brand. Melody had learned how to protect her peace, and fans respected her for it. Her silence spoke louder than any interview or post. It said she was moving forward, even if Martell was still trying to look back. And that is where the tension really began to build. Because when someone who used to be the main character in your story suddenly realizes they are no longer in control, it can create a storm of emotions. Martell was no longer the man in charge of the spotlight. Melody had taken control of her own story, and she was doing it gracefully. Now, fans were seeing a woman who was rebranding, leveling up, and refusing to be dragged back into old cycles. She was posting beautiful photos, staying booked, and living her life unapologetically. Meanwhile, Martell's reactions were becoming more emotional and scattered. He posted vague quotes that hinted at pain. He deleted messages as quickly as he shared them. It looked like he was watching from the sidelines, unsure how to respond to the version of Melody that no longer needed his validation or his drama. And so, while the world kept guessing about whether Melody had moved on, whether she was pregnant, or if it was all a misunderstanding, one thing became crystal clear: she was no longer playing the same game. And Martell, he seemed stuck on the sidelines, wondering when the rules changed. No matter what side fans were on Team Martell or Team Melody, most people could agree on one thing: the silence had been broken, and the storm was starting to swirl again. But this time, it felt different. Melody looked unbothered. She looked focused, and Martell, he looked like someone who had just realized what he lost, maybe too late. If you have been following Love and Marriage, Huntsville, you already know. Peace never lasts long. Just when it looked like things were finally settling down, new rumors started. And here is where it got interesting. Melody's name started coming up alongside Hill Harper's. Yes, that Hill Harper. The one who usually stays far away from gossip. At first, no one took it seriously. After all, Hill has been linked to Michelle Obama before. He is an actor, a writer, a philanthropist, and now a single father. Definitely not someone you expect to see in the tabloids. But then the internet started putting pieces together. Hill liked some of Melody's social media posts. Then they followed each other. Then, someone claimed they were both seen at the same event. No pictures, but still enough to spark curiosity. People started guessing. Maybe they are just friends. But then came the real shocker: a rumor that Melody might be pregnant. That rumor spread like wildfire. Right around Father's Day, a story popped up about Hill Harper taking on his most meaningful role, yet as a single dad. That alone made people talk. But then came the big twist: some claimed he was the father of Melody's baby. Suddenly, screenshots were flying around. People noticed Melody wearing looser clothes than usual. Someone said they saw her at a wellness clinic. And when Martell heard all this, he lost it. According to folks on set, Martell had a serious emotional breakdown while filming Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Not for the cameras, this happened behind the scenes. A producer tried calming him down, but he refused. He allegedly shouted something like, "She wants the world to think I'm replaceable." That was not just anger. It sounded personal, like deep, emotional pain. To many, it felt like Martell finally realized what he had lost. Not just Melody, but the whole story of them. Melody, on the other hand, has stayed quiet. She is focused and moving forward, while Martell seems to be unraveling. And right when it seemed like Martell was breaking down, guess who finally spoke up? Hill Harper. During a panel about fatherhood and black male leadership, someone asked him directly about the rumors, both the baby and the relationship. Hill did not get flustered. He stayed calm and respectful. No drama. No dodging. Just a clear answer: there is no pregnancy, and we are not in a relationship. But what he said next made people raise eyebrows. He spoke about Melody with deep admiration, calling her a strong and focused woman, doing amazing things. He made it clear he respects her a lot. And that was that. Hill Harper made one thing crystal clear: he was not here for confusion, drama, or whispers in the background. From the very beginning, he set the record straight. There was no flirting, no mysterious "let's see what happens," and definitely no mixed signals. His words were respectful, firm, and final. He drew a clean line in the sand, and what stood out the most was how calmly and confidently he did it. What really made people pay attention was how Hill handled it all. He was not flustered or defensive. He did not roll his eyes or sidestep the question. When asked directly about the rumors connecting him to Melody, especially the ones suggesting she might be pregnant, he simply said, "There is no pregnancy and we are not in a relationship," straightforward and clear. But it was the follow-up line that carried real weight. I keep my personal life private and out of the blogs for a reason." That one sentence said more than it seemed. Hill never dropped any names, but everyone knew exactly what he meant. He had no interest in being dragged into the ongoing drama between Martell and Melody, and for fans who have followed the twists and turns of that story for years, Hill's message was received loud and clear. He was not trying to be anyone's headline. He had no intention of becoming part of the reality TV storyline. In fact, it felt like Hill Harper's calm and calculated response shut the entire rumor mill down. Just like that, boom, done. But with that silence came more questions. People started asking, hold on, was all of this just wild gossip? Were the pregnancy whispers and secret romance rumors simply stretched too far? Or was someone playing smart while everyone else was caught up in the noise? That is when people began looking at the situation from another angle. Was this a case of exaggerated fan theories? Or was it actually a smart move by someone who knew how to work the internet without saying a word? The idea that Melody stayed completely silent while rumors built around her made people wonder if she had quietly taken control of the narrative. Hill's statement may have shut things down on his end, but it only made fans more curious about what had really happened. Melody, as usual, remained quiet. She never confirmed or denied anything, but she posted just enough to keep people guessing: mysterious quotes, beautiful photos, and carefully chosen captions. There were baby bottle emojis, flowing clothes, and filtered pictures with strategic angles. Not once did she reveal too much, yet she gave just enough for the internet to run wild. So while Hill backed away from the fire, Melody seemed to let the flame burn without ever striking a match herself. And that silence made everything more interesting. Fans began to wonder, was this a subtle form of control? Was Melody using the power of suggestion and curiosity to spark attention? And if so, did Hill step out because he refused to be part of a game he never signed up for? What added another layer to all of this was the difference in how both Hill and Martell reacted to the situation. Hill was calm, composed, and detached. He responded once and walked away. No drama, no follow-up posts, no tension. Meanwhile, Martell was spiraling, posting vague emotional messages, deleting them quickly, and looking more and more unsettled. This contrast made fans talk even more. Hill's refusal to get involved in the chaos almost made the whole thing feel like it really was just speculation, but that didn't stop people from guessing. If there was nothing going on, why did Melody post those cryptic captions? Why did she avoid clearing the air? And if it was all false, why did Martell seem so bothered? One thing was for sure: Harper's quiet strength stood out. He handled the moment with grace, shutting down rumors without throwing anyone under the bus. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that not every story deserves a spotlight. Some things are better left private. His message was simple: respect, boundaries, and peace over drama. Whether this situation was born from fan hype, a perfectly timed social media tease, or just a misunderstanding taken too far, Hill's response became the turning point. He stepped out of the storm, and in doing so, showed that not everyone wants to play the reality TV game. As the dust settled, fans were left with more questions than answers, but one thing was certain: Hill Harper was not the one adding fuel to the fire. And right here is where Melody steps back in. While Hill publicly shut the door, Melody stayed silent as usual when things heat up. But her silence came with mystery. She started posting Instagram captions that sparked even more talk. Phrases like "new beginnings are beautiful" or "protect your peace" had people guessing. One post had a baby bottle, a white heart, and a flower emoji. No words, just vibes. The photos she shared: soft lighting, dreamy filters, stylish outfits, but something was always hidden. Fans noticed her clothes were loose, her jackets oversized, and her poses just happened to hide her stomach. The comments section lit up. "She's glowing differently," someone wrote. Another person said, "If this is true, Martell is going to lose it." And some fans celebrated her moving on, hoping it was with someone better. Still, Melody said nothing. And then, out of nowhere, a tweet popped up. Someone claimed they saw Melody at a wellness clinic in Atlanta walking in with a mystery man. "Just saw Melody Shari with a fine man," the tweet said. It was deleted quickly, but not before it went viral. Soon after, blurry photos started surfacing. You know, the kind far away, grainy, but just clear enough to get people talking. One picture showed a woman, who looked like Melody, walking into a building with a man in a hoodie and sunglasses. Zoom in, and the internet did what it always does. Some said it was Hill Harper, some thought it was Martell, and others believed it was just a random guy. Just when things started to settle, Martell added fuel to the fire with one Instagram post that got everyone's attention. He did not say any names, but his message spoke volumes. Some wounds never heal, especially when lies reopen them. Anyone following the drama knew exactly who that was about. The timing could not have been worse or more suspicious. Melody was staying quiet, letting the internet do its thing. Hill had already shut down the rumors, and then Martell posts that. Fans quickly saw it as a shot at Melody. Within an hour, he deleted it, but by then, it was everywhere. Screenshots were posted on blogs, and the entire conversation shifted. No one was asking, "Is Melody pregnant?" anymore. They were asking, "Why is Martell acting so bothered?" Many fans believed he felt tricked, like Melody stayed silent on purpose and let the rumors grow. And Martell, he's been through this before. He knows how fast the internet moves. He also knows that, if people think Melody moved on and found happiness with someone newest, with someone, respected it, could make him look bad. Suddenly, that wounds reopened by lies post looked more like a desperate reaction than anything else. It felt like a man caught off guard, shocked by something he did not see coming. That one post from Martell, followed by how quickly he deleted it, said a lot. It was not planned. It came from the heart, like a sudden rush of regret or jealousy. And just as fast as it appeared, he took it back. That moment exposed something raw. And now we get to the real question: was that post about love, or was it about control? Fans are still debating. Some believe Martell is simply a heartbroken man who never really moved on from Melody. To them, every emotional post, every awkward interview, and every tear he sheds proves that he still loves her, and that deep down, he just wants his family back. But there is another group of fans who see it very differently. They think this is not about love at all. For them, it is about ego and power. They believe Martell is reacting to the fact that he is no longer in control of the story. Meanwhile, Melody has been quietly rising, keeping her personal life private, protecting her image, and continuing to grow without dragging him into every headline. True power is when you control your own narrative, and that is exactly what Melody is doing. In contrast, Martell's actions seem all over the place, emotional and reactive. He is responding to her journey instead of leading his own. And for a man who once had the upper hand, that shift must feel uncomfortable. The tables have clearly turned. Now, Melody appears to be the one steering the ship, while Martell is left playing catch-up. No matter where the truth lies, whether this whole situation is real, exaggerated by fans, or part of the reality TV script, one thing is obvious: Melody is winning in the public eye, and Martell, he is struggling to keep up. But what do you think? Is Melody using soft glam posts and mysterious captions to tease the internet? Could she actually be pregnant? Or has this all been a perfectly executed social media move? Was Martell's emotional post genuine, or was it just a way to hide behind the noise? Let's talk about it in the comments. If you're as hooked on this story as we are, go ahead and hit that like. And remember, whatever this is, one thing is clear: this drama is far from over.